Forest Hills Park in Charlottesville is looking mighty spiffy tonight thanks to a group of volunteers. Come As You Are Cville Ministry kicked off its first weekly cleanup effort today. The plan is to have the community come together and form a tighter bond. Parks and Rec provides the tools for everyone to pitch in.
The goal here is unity. That's the goal. Because we can gather 100 people, as I've been saying, clean up the parks, and we go home. But as long as we did not mesh together, we did not accomplish a goal here. Yes, the community is clean, but if I see you tomorrow walking down the street, am I going to be able to greet you and recognize your face? I want to bring the people together.
And you can take part as well. All you have to do is show up at the Forest Hills at 2 on a Friday, ready to work.
Look for whatever is presented to you. Each and every single person has the power to influence those in the community to step into action. And, you know, with all of those contributions you provide, remember to stay humble. And I think it's going to be hard sometimes to, we can't be everything to every person, and we have to understand that just as you wish for them to come as they are, I think it's important to accept them for where they are in their life, right? So not everybody is going to be at the same place. Not everybody has risen, not everybody has ascended, not everybody has, you know, has the same life experiences too. So everybody's going to be at a different place. And just remember to, you know, don't be afraid to see what is beyond being presented, right? Because the inner being, I think, is, you know, sometimes people don't see that within themselves. And if you can help people point that out and or show that to them, right? If you can kind of show that to them and encourage them, I think that is ultimately the best blessing that you can provide. So those were some of my thoughts. I feel like, you know, if you build this strong foundation, which you have with this nonprofit organization, and it aligns with your values, your ethics, your belief systems, and your true authentic self. It's just, you know, in alignment. I think it's going to be absolutely successful, and I wish you all the best of luck. I'm so super excited and very proud of you. I'm gonna cry, but very, very proud of you. And I would like to share the link. If you have any way for people to donate, I would like to put that on my business page and my personal page. I'm excited for you guys.
Very much,
Thank you.
Mr. Cabeza. So yeah, I actually used to work at Pacham, our local cold weather homeless shelter. In the video you saw earlier was the Haven, which is the day shelter, and Pacham every night during the coldest months welcomes people in at the Haven and then utilizes local churches to have both a men's and women's shelter. And I worked there for 4 years. I was the case manager and shelter director and some other things too. Technically part-time, caseload of 240 people. Because everyone who came through the shelter had to meet with me. And definitely found during that time that we are all neighbors. And I have definitely seen that that is what Come As You Are is trying to remind people of. That just because at this point in time, somebody might be in that shelter doesn't mean that a year or two ago, they weren't in a house next door to you. Doesn't mean that that person didn't used to go to church with you or work with you. Doesn't mean that that person might not still be the person waiting on you in line at the grocery store. So it's always so important to remember that in homelessness, that's not somebody's definition of who they are. It's where they are right now. And too often, people look at somebody who is homeless and say, that is all there is to them, is that they are homeless. When really there is, that person there is just like you in so many ways. And I've definitely been impressed with the work that Come As You Are has been trying to do to bring the community together in unity, whether it be cleaning up parks or giving gifts out to children whose parents are being hit even harder right now by this pandemic. Or making sure that people who are on the street are able to have something to eat, or sitting down at a meal with various different people and not being made to feel like they're less than. Because there's always so many different stories. People are scared of seeing someone who is homeless because I think deep down we know any of us could be there. I knew people who walked in that door who had trust funds, who had master's degrees, who had had jobs their whole lives, or who were young but just could no longer stay at home with their families. And that's been a huge problem, is that the younger generation is having a harder and harder time affording to live on their own. And it's so, and people will turn their heads and walk away because they're afraid that that could be their mirror. And they're too afraid of what their future could bring to allow themselves to sit down in unity with somebody else who is embodying their greatest fear. And so I truly respect this initiative of Come As You Are Doesn't matter how you're dressed. It matters that we sit down together in conversation and break bread and enjoy each other's company, as we are all fundamentally the same. And we all have something to offer this world and we are all valuable. And it's so easy in the homeless community for people to start losing their sense of value. And that is one of the keys of helping people to regain that hope, to move forward in their life, to grab the chances when they do come, so that they can just take that next step out of homelessness. So thank you for this. It's a boon to this community, whether this community is just Charlottesville or whether it spreads beyond. You know, anybody who is homeless deserves that respect and dignity. So thank you for doing this.